So the big question is this: how do you lose all the weight that you want and actually keep it off for the rest of your life, while trying to make sense of all the noise that comes from the weight loss industry? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers.
G'day guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Weight Loss Secrets podcast. My name is Baron Grant and I'm wrapped to be with you for another day, another tip, another idea, something that's going to be able to help you make changes in your life to lose all the weight you want and keep it off for the rest of your life. That's what this podcast is all about. So today I want to talk about a topic that I think is maybe the most important thing when it comes to losing weight. But before I jump into it, make sure you head to ditchingthediet.com where you can download my book, book a call with me, and I can help you out on your journey to losing all the weight that you want and keeping it off for the rest of your life. So now, today's topic, I'm going to start off by telling my story from today. Today, I went to the football. So as many of you know, I am an unashamed Hawthorn fan in the Australian rules football, because I know that we have listeners overseas as well. But Australian rules football is what is my chosen sport, my favourite sport to watch. Now, Hawthorn is my chosen team. Now, Hawthorn have been very, very good over a long period of time, but they stink right now. And today, we went to watch them play, and we were very hopeful. Now, to give you an idea of how bad we are, before this game started, we were sitting second bottom on the AFL ladder. This is the Easter Monday clash against Geelong, which Geelong would be the arch nemesis of Hawthorn and my most disliked team of any sport in anything in the whole world. So going to see Hawthorn play Geelong is always a little bit of a feisty encounter, and went today with probably not high hopes, but maybe a glimmer of hope that we might be able to knock them off, because Geelong has started terribly there. They've lost all their first three games. I thought maybe, just maybe, we're a sneaky chance. And so anyway, we go to the game and we were exciting for the first half. In fact, we were leading going into half time, and I thought, oh, maybe we could be really good. Well, after half time, I don't know if I have words to describe what I witnessed, but we stunk, like seriously stunk. Now, credit to Geelong, they literally killed us in every aspect of the game. But as good as Geelong were, we were as bad. No effort at the contest, no commitment to the footy, no fundamentals done right. We just stunk. And I think, if I remember rightly, they scored 65 points to our 0 in the third quarter, ending up smashing us by stupid amounts. So by the end of the game, I left feeling extremely disappointed, would be the understatement of the year. Because if we're not going to win another game for the year, we've got to beat Geelong. Like, that's it. If we just beat Geelong, kind of okay. We didn't even get close to them. So the big problem that I saw with Hawthorn today was that they went hard early, but then they lacked the consistency that they need. And interestingly enough, in the third quarters for this year, they've scored 11 points across three third quarters. I think there were 3 or 4 third quarters, and the other team has scored 158 or something crazy like that. So Hawthorn is struggling in certain parts of the game. Their biggest challenge is they're a young team and they lack consistency. I'd say they lack some skill and some effort and other things, but consistency is the big thing that they're lacking. And so they'll play really well for a little bit at the start of the game, and then they run out of juice and run out of aerobic capacity and just fall apart and don't finish off the games well. So they're lacking consistency. And I think you can draw some great lines to this with weight loss and with health in general, really, because the consistency is the key. And I always say to people when I'm talking to them on the phone that consistency is the magic pill when it comes to weight loss, but it's the magic pill that nobody wants to swallow, because consistency takes effort. It takes day on day, wrong words, but ongoing effort every single day to be able to get to where you want to be. And that consistency is what's going to make you win every single time. If Hawthorn produced the same level of effort in the third quarter that they did in the first quarter, then they would have probably got closer to being competitive in the game, or maybe winning the game if they played in a similar way that they did in the start, but they just didn't. And so the consistency is the key. I see a lot of people when they start on weight loss programs that they go, bang, I'm going nuts. I'm going to go so hard and I'm going to smash this thing, which is great. I love the endeavor and I love the enthusiasm. But sometimes those initial efforts can be unrealistic and they become too full on and the body can't handle it, or you can't handle it mentally. So I frequently see people go, I'm going to get fit, that's it. They hit CrossFit. CrossFit is harsh on your body. Yes, with some good CrossFit gyms, you'll be able to scale up in the way that you need to, but some just jump in and go way too hard. And that's harsh on your body. And so then they go, I get busted, I get injured, and I don't come back. And so there's no consistency in that. And without that consistency, you're not going to get the long-term sustained results that you need to lose the weight. And so if you're trying to lose 30 and 40 kilos, that doesn't happen in a week. No matter how hard you work, it doesn't happen in a week. It happens over time. It will come off over time. And so we need to be more patient and thoughtful in our approach to ensure that the approach that we take has more consistency. Now, I like to analyze the games, but Hawthorn has a run and gun type of approach, and I watched it today. They come out and they go nuts, and so it is up the guts, and they take the game on, and they're really aggressive in the way that they play, but they don't have the tank. They don't have the aerobic ability to be able to run that style of game for the rest of the game. So that doesn't work. Now, in the years to come, that might work, but as they get fitter, but it doesn't work now. And it's the same with weight loss. If we try to go too hard and we starve ourselves all day, or we're fasting 16 and 8, or we're doing crazy CrossFit workouts and other really high intensity workouts that are harsh on our body, we'll run out of gas. So I want you to think, how can we do this in a way that is consistent and that you can grind it? Every day you can grind that out and get that consistency happening. So that's the thought that I want you to leave with you today. It's a short message, but how can you be consistent? Because it's a day in, day out proposition. You can't just do it for a short little bit and then fall off the wagon like Hawthorn does. You can't just turn up, go really hard for a quarter and think everything's great, and then just actually be witches' hats for the next half of the game because you run out of gas. You don't want to run out of gas. You want to be able to run out the whole game. And so don't go so hard so early, and make sure the decision that you make to lose the weight is a consistent approach, something that you can do consistently for at least for the short term, for months, and then for years, living with those main principles that you've invested in over that shorter period of time. So consistency is the key. That's the message today. Just a short one. Don't be like Hawthorn. Don't go too hard, too early, and not be able to sustain that type of behavior. Make sure you have a consistent approach, and the weight will keep dropping off as long as you stay the course. We've got to play the 4 quarters and not just stop halfway and not turn up for the rest of the game. If you do that, you'll win on this journey. We'll talk soon.